to That's One of My Favorites podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Samara, over here with my friend Emily, all the way in Tennessee. We both have on our holiday swag because, number one, there's only 3 days left to Christmas, but number two, we're doing White Christmas!
Yay!
Which is truly one of Emily's favorites. So, plot twist of the century. I have never seen this movie before. I had seen Holiday Inn.
Oh, well, it's still starring Bing Crosby, and they do sing White Christmas.
Right. So, in my complete and utter defense, number one, they both star Bing Crosby. They both have to do with an inn, which is the same set, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And he sings White Christmas. So, I had never seen this movie before. And it started playing, I watched it with Ruby, because I was like, it's rated G. She loves singing in the rain, no problem. And I didn't realize it was set in World War II. So all of a sudden, bombs are going off. She's going, what's happening? And I was like, it's a storm. It's a storm. Quick. So, anyway,
That's
not
funny.
this movie. That was
this
a mom
movie.
deal.
This movie is a staple in my household growing up. Specifically, we would watch it every Christmas with my grandmother, my mom's mom, who passed away last year. But it is still up there on my list of favorites to watch around Christmas time.
Oh, I definitely enjoyed it. But yeah, so it stars Bing Crosby as Bob Wallace, Danny Kaye as Phil Davis, Rosemary Clooney, George Clooney's aunt, as Betty Haynes, and Vera Ellen as Judy Haynes.
Mm-hmm. And so the quote that pops into my head every time somebody mentions Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye is from my mom's favorite Christmas movie, which is Christmas Vacation. And I don't know if have you seen that movie?
I have, but not enough to quote it like people do.
You know when he gets really mad about people wanting to leave because everything's like blowing up in their house? Yeah. Basically. He's like, oh no, we're going to press on and we're going to have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap dance with Danny F and K. Which is quoting this movie. Oh no.
Oh.
My mom literally, I might have to send you a picture of it or post it on our Instagram because I think she posted it when she decorated the house for Christmas.
Yeah.
Next to the fireplace, there's a sign that has that quote on it.
The only quotes that I remember from Christmas Vacation are obviously the crapper's full, and then why is the carpet wet, Todd?
I don't know, Margot.
Like, those are the only two.
My mom will say that that's my favorite quote because it gets me every time. Why is the carpet all wet, Todd?
I just love Julia Dreyfus. I love her. So,
my mom can't stand her.
Oh, well.
Like her as a person and an actress.
Man, I don't know what Julie did to her, but Susie and Julie got beef.
Yeah.
And my money is on Susie.
Yeah.
So yeah, this movie takes place in an inn. It's the same inn from Holiday Inn. They just repainted it because of grayscale, obviously. Mm-hmm. And this is also the first movie that was filmed in VistaVision,
mm-hmm.
which I could not understand what it was. I had to have Daniel, my husband, read it and then explain it to me like I was 5.
Would you like to explain it to the audience?
So, my understanding of it was, as two, college-educated adults, is that there was a standard called the 35 millimeter, which is what they filmed on. And they basically came in, Paramount decided that they were going to come in and make it bigger and better versus the 35 millimeter. So they, it's basically just higher resolution, and instead of being the widescreen, it's a little bit bigger. Like it was very weird. It only lasted for 7 years. And this was the first movie. And then Vertigo by Alfred Hitchcock. And then all the 3 original Star Wars sequels.
Hmm.
And that was it. And then they didn't do it again.
I wonder if it was because, is it like harder to do, or just wasn't really worth it?
It was an issue with television.
Oh, okay.
It just became obsolete. They didn't need it. They didn't need to do it anymore with television and stuff like that. So,
because I know most recently the movie Oppenheimer was filmed in 70mm film, which was like not heard of today.
I think Quentin Tarantino only films in 70. Like he's one of those guys who like, I only film in 70mm. I'm a real director. Like he's one of those guys. So I don't want to give him too much credit, but I do know that because I do love Kill Bill and Pulp Fictions are up there. So one of the things that I noticed in this movie right away was, first of all, how old were they supposed to be in this movie was my first question, because there is a little bit of age play. However, these people, these 2 couples, in my opinion, seem to be very age appropriate couples. I have no problem with them because Danny was in his 40s, Bing was in his 50s. And then the girls were respectively somewhere in their 30s. And
which wasn't unheard of in like what it was set in the 40s.
It's not that it's unheard of. It's just not a 19-year-old Judy Garland and a 57,000-year-old Fred Astaire. Like that's
we're still on that.
I'm still there. But I felt like Bing looked a little bit older. I'm not gonna lie, but I was not immediately. I didn't get the immediate gross.
Yeah, at least Bing is a very handsome 50-year-old.
He is. He is a very handsome 50-year-old. He definitely looked 50, in my opinion. But it's not ugly. It's not a problem. But I was just very happy that like she looked 30. She looked 30. The other one got me a little bit. There was one point where I was like, are they going to date? She was being too meddling later in the movie. And I was like, is she supposed to be 15? Like, is she supposed to be like a meddling teenager
No.
But that's just me. However, the general in the movie,
Silver Fox.
Well, he was very handsome. He was very, very handsome. But he was only 6. He is supposed to be the general. He's supposed to be the major commander, blah, blah, blah. That's why I asked how old they were. It's supposed to be in the movie. He's 6 months younger than Bing Crosby in this movie. But he doesn't obviously they put the hair white.
I don't know how much older he's supposed to be in the movie. Obviously, he's supposed to be retiring age.
I wish that they had kind of said their age a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I kind of got the sense of like, hey man, you need to get married and blah, 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 have some kids. But
because Bob was a captain too, so.
Yeah. Maybe I'll ask Daniel how old.
Retiring age. Well, I guess it matters how long you've been in versus how old you really are.
Typical retirement from Army. And then how old are most captains? He was a general. Okay. We'll find out. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, because Bing's character Bob was a captain and Danny Kaye's character Phil was a private.
Okay. Well, I think everybody's a private, so. And I did get the sense that he was a little bit younger. Not, but anyway. I felt like everybody was age appropriate in this. I was like, okay, boom.
Yeah.
Vera, Judy, looks like the original Barbie to me.
She does.
I had to look up if the Barbie was based on her.
Her waist. is like non-existent.
Yeah.
Like,
it was more
she
of
doesn't have ribs.
the head shape and then the hair. The
The
hair was obviously the Barbie, you know.
like if you put her in the iconic black striped
yeah.
bathing suit and fixed her hair up, I could see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I was like, was she? But it was not her. But she looked like a Barbie. She kept looking at the camera.
She is definitely not like originally an actress or a singer.
Oh no.
She is just a dancer.
She is, and she did great, and she was beautiful, and I thought she did a great job. She obviously was dubbed, so was everyone else and their moms back in the day. So like, not no harm, no foul to her. But when at first I was like, I wonder if she's dubbed, and then she only kept dancing, and I was like, she was totally dubbed. And she was dubbed by a woman named Trudy Stevens, and you know, like there's no shame at that point. But your girl was there to dance and look pretty.
Yeah, I wrote down that she was considered to be one of the best dancers in Hollywood at the time. And she was even a Radio City Rockette. But she couldn't sing. She was dubbed by Trudy Stevens without throughout the film.
Yeah. You can hear her apparently during one of the snow. You can hear her. So
yeah, because that'd probably be hard to be dubbed.
So the plot of this movie is it's based in World War II. And Bob, not Jim. See, again, I'm in Hollywood, and I am all the way in Connecticut. So
in Vermont. We're in Vermont.
We're in Vermont now. So Captain Bob was a aspiring former Broadway performer, and they start on at Christmas time, and they are trying to put on this little production so that during the war, they're literally bombs are going off just to try to bring Christmas to the boys. And their beloved general is retiring. He's been relieved. So right after everybody leaves, like the performance ends, they get attacked, and Phil comes and saves Bob, which later he regrets.
Yeah.
I love that Phil blackmailed him. I was just like, oh, but my arm, I saved you. Like,
yeah, he uses his arm against him to get him to do a double act once they get out of the army.
Yeah, of him just being like, let's perform together.
Yeah. See, I know this one guy, and he'd be really good, and it's me.
It's me. And then he's like, no, I'm a solo actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I saved you.
God, my arm hurts. Yeah.
And see, I wish there was a little bit more of like time definition, because how many times, Emily, how many times are you gonna look me in my face and me go, but ow, for you to be like, you know what? Listen, show your face.
It wasn't that
Get
bad.
out of here. Like, you're my best friend. We're done.
We're done with this, and we're moving on.
We gotta go. You're just gonna keep holding it. Yeah, so he blackmails him into doing a double act, and then he blackmails him into doing this, and he blackmails him into I shouldn't say blackmail. It's not blackmail. Guilt.
Yeah, he just coerces him, guilt trips him.
Him.
I do know that. I think from the end of World War II and them going to the end, it has been 10 years based off of the cake at the end.
I didn't catch that.
Because it says 10th anniversary.
Oh, I didn't see.
It's probably because I've seen the movie about 50 bazillion times. Yeah, the cake at the end. So from when he retires at the end of World War II and the celebration at the end of the movie, there's the cake that he blows candles off of. At the end, it says 10th anniversary. So it's been 10 years.
Okay. Well, 10 years. so they start doing their own. They start getting this hit Broadway musical. They're making bank, and they get a letter from an old sergeant buddy of theirs who says, "Hey, my sisters have an act. Can you come look at him? Give him some free advice." And they're like, "Well, it's our army buddy. We need to. Let's go on down to Florida."
Freckle-faced Haynes, the dog-faced boy.
First of all, he was cute as a bug. He was so cute. Second of all, he was Alfalfa in the original Old Rascals. Little Rascals. He was the original Alfalfa. His name, the actor's name, I didn't know this. The actor's name is Carl Alfalfa Switzer, which is Alfalfa's full name.
So he wasn't even in the movie. He's just like his picture shows up because they don't talk to him ever.
And says, here he is, blah blah blah. That's Carl Alfalfa Switzer.
No, that's freckled-faced Haynes.
He was so cute. I don't understand. I was waiting for like a horrendous, the way that they were talking. But you know what? Like, as somebody who has a husband with army stuff, yeah, absolutely. That's how they talk about each other.
They just make up names all the time. That's how they talk
about each other. That's how they like show love. Like, it's so weird. Him and his.
Maybe they called him the dog-faced boy because everybody's always like, "You're so cute." I don't know.
That's you're so cute like a little puppy.
He's so cute. Yeah. Maybe that's their way of saying like he's got a baby face.
There you go. That's smart. That was good. That was a good thought. I like that.
But no, I was thinking the same thing. When you think dog-faced boy, I think of somebody that looks like an English bulldog or something, like jowl,
having a husband who is in the military, I thought like he had shrapnel face, and then they were like dog face man, because again, that's what they do. I don't know. Anyway, so they get this letter. They go to see the act. Phil is. He's been trying for the past, like, he tried to hook him up with a dancer. He tried to hook Bob up with a dancer earlier. Who was an idiot. This woman, poor girl. I hate to be that way. Hi, good to see you. Mutual, or what does he say? How are you? Mutual, I'm sure.
Mutual, I'm sure. I sent you that picture. We need to post that to Instagram. She gives me like the "and I can't stand him" vibes.
Stand him. Yep.
Because she has like that high pitched voice too.
Yes, I agree.
So mutual, I'm sure.
Ma'am, I said.
What kind of answer is that?
Well, because that's the answer for like it's so nice to meet you. Mutual, I'm sure. Like that's the sarcastic answer for that.
So she's just so dumb that when you say, "How do you do?" Mutual.
Yes,
sure.
like that's idiot. Anyway,
I'm good. Yeah, how are you?
Exactly. So
she says this twice, by the way.
Her big breakout role.
Mutual, I'm sure. I play a bimbo in White Christmas.
Hey man, that's better than what I have going on for me. So Phil is trying to play matchmaker with Bob because he basically is like, I have no time for myself, which is hilarious because Phil did this. Phil pushed them into all these projects, and now he's like, oh, I have no time to do anything, Bob. You need to get a life. Okay. No?
When you get married, you'll get 45 minutes.
Like, if you hang out with your 9 kids 5 minutes a day, I'll have 45 minutes to myself. It was, yeah. So the girls come on and they sing "Sister, Sister," the iconic song. And Phil's like, oh, hey, Bob's into her. Like, okay. So and you find out that the girls are talking about it, and Betty finds out that Judy wrote the letter. Basically using the, connection to get free free famous publicity or whatever.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So then the girls, I'm having a hard time remembering. Maybe you can do a little bit better.
They sit down at the table together, and Betty tells Bob that, my sister wrote the letter, and he's like, oh, well, it happens. I'm glad we did. Like, you're actually really good.
Well, he was kind of like a butthole off the cuff. Like, he was like, everybody has an angle. Everybody wants something from everybody.
I think,
especially because
I took it as like it's not a big deal. Like, it happens all the time.
The second that she got offended, he should have been like, and she was like, we don't have an angle. I don't have an angle. And he's like, yeah, you do. Like, it was just a weird, like, moment. But, alas, Phil and Judy decide that they are going to try to connect Betty and Bob together no matter what happens.
Yeah, because the guys are about to head to New York.
They're going to go do their show.
And then we find out that the girls are going to Vermont.
Yeah. The girls just got booked for an act in Vermont at an inn. And then all of a sudden, the police show up. Because the landlord...
Their landlord wants $200.
The landlord is saying they destroyed a rug. They're saying they didn't. And here comes the infamous scene. In order to distract and deflect, Bob and Phil dance to Sister Sisters. Which apparently...
Which was not scripted.
Apparently it was not scripted. Apparently that was just them goofing off.
Yeah, I wrote down, according to Rosemary Clooney, Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye's sister's performance was not originally scripted. They were clowning around on set, and the director, Michael Kurtz's, how do you say that? Thought it was so funny that he decided to actually film it. And in the scene, you can see Bing laughing, and it's genuine laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he can't hold a straight face because Danny Kaye's face, like the faces he's making and the dancing he's doing.
So, one of the things that I noticed in this, and it's a little bit different than like Singing in the Rain or Easter Parade or anything else, is everybody here in this movie kind of has their niche, and everybody's fine with it. Like in Singing in the Rain, they have to be funny. They have to dance. They have to laugh. Like, obviously, what's his face is the comedic relief in Singing in the Rain. But he also does a crazy dance and flies into a wall. So, like, he also has to sing and dance. He's not just there to be like, joke, joke, laugh, laugh, bye. Like, he also is making stuff.
Right.
In this, Vera dances. And that's all she has to do. And that's all she does. Betty sings. And that's all she has to do. And that's all she does. Bing sings. And that's all he has to do. And that's all he does. And then Danny makes people laugh. And that's all he has to do. Like, no one is really... They bring in later... They bring in...
like a whole crew of people.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. But, yeah, I'll hold on to that point. But everybody just kind of has their little niches. And I think that's why this movie shines so well, is no one's being forced to do anything they don't want to do. Or that they're not good at doing. Rosemary Clooney actually said, if they had only dubbed my dancing, this would have been a perfect movie.
But she doesn't really dance that much. I mean, the dances that she does is just like somewhat like movements around stage.
It's a lot of walkography. With the exception
but it's not anywhere near like
character.
Yeah, I was about to say it's nowhere near what Judy's character is doing. She's like flat out like tapping. Yeah.
Anyway, so back to the boys. They give the girls their train. Well, Phil gives the girls their train cart ticket. And sends them on the train. and then they improvise the dance so the girls can get away, and then they end up having to spend the night like in the deli car or whatever because they gave away their train spot.
The
Yeah.
club car.
So the girl, everybody convinces him to go to Vermont, with them, and that there's gonna be snow and it's gonna be so much fun. It'll be great, you know, haha! Like, come see us. And there's no snow. There's supposed to be snow. It's Vermont. It's a ski lodge, so like, there's no snow.
Yeah, they said it's actually like when they get off the train, they said it was like Florida weather because it was.
Yeah, he said it was 68 yesterday or something like that. I forget what exactly he said. 68 yesterday.
Yeah. And they hadn't had snow in like since Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they hadn't had snow since Thanksgiving, and they end up finding out that their general, is the landlord. Surprise, surprise.
General
Waverly is the landlord, and it's not going well because there's no snow.
Yeah.
So from there, Bob is like, they're like, you know what? Let's bring everyone in. Let's bring our whole show from New York to Vermont. This makes no sense to me. I love and appreciate that we love and appreciate our general. This is not like
I think it's like a twofer. He wants to help the general and the inn be successful, and then 2, he's had to furlough his crew, so he's given them extra work to do over the Christmas break. So it's like they'll be busy now. Like we'll pay them because he's on the phone being like, how much is this going to cost? And feels like, how much is this going to cost?
Ouch and yowza. Like, ugh. Somewhere between and
yeah.
No.
And he goes, ugh.
So they bring everybody in. Okay, Emily, what is this play about? What is the play about, Emily? What's it?
I don't know. It's just a show.
No, it is a Broadway show. What is the Broadway? What is it about? What is the storyline? Because they
never say.
The minstrels. Then they do choreography. Then they do White Christmas. Then they do just a dance number. They do and he tried to add the blessings song that he and Rosemary sang to each other. What is the show about? What is the show about? What am I paying money for? No, I need to know what it's about.
I have never thought about what it was supposed to be about. It's just a smattering of different acts.
Okay. All right. Well,
we don't ask questions.
I'll ask questions.
We watch it. We enjoy and we move on.
I mean, okay. Okay, so while we're talking about the show, Judy gets a dance partner because obviously Bing and Danny are not dancers. So Judy gets a dance partner, and they bring in George. Oh gosh, I have so many tabs open. Sorry, hang on. I'll just open a new tab. Oh, nope, that's not it. West Side Story. George. No. Bernardo. Alright, West Side Story, Bernardo. I had to get there, sorry. I'm sorry, I should have had this up. George Chakras. They bring in George Chakras as Vera Ellen's dance partner. Because again, Bing and Danny clearly are not dancers. George Chakris played Bernardo in West Side Story, or Maria's brother, who, spoiler alert, doesn't make it. So, but they bring him in as her dance partner, and I thought that was really.
I thought he looked
I just
familiar.
thought it was interesting because, again, like I don't think about movies back then with people having like, this is my talent. Like they had to be all or nothing in my mind. So the fact that like Betty doesn't really dance, she walks a little bit because she's not a dancer, and Judy doesn't really sing because she's not a singer. Like I like how they did that. So they were just like, we'll bring in this kid. They can dance together, no problem, and it's not weird. I love it. I love that part. So we'll talk about George again someday when we do West Side Story, maybe. It's on our list. So they bring in the whole team to do the play, and they, while this is happening, they're doing rehearsals. They're just kind of taking up space. They're paying for the room. Like, they're basically just kind of helping. Everybody's helping everybody out. The general tries to resubmit into the army, and he gets a rejection letter. And this really hurts Bob, so he decides to call Ed Harrison, aka Ed Sullivan, in real life. Now, it's not him portrayed, but it's very obvious who they're trying to be. But Ed Harrison is another one of their army buddies. And he calls him up. Okay, let's talk about Emma, because I love me some Emma. Emma is the general's wife, right? His wife.
Is she the wife, or is she just the housekeeper? Like, she's just his handler.
Oh, they have a different last name.
She's like, I mean, she might as well be, but she helps with the inn. She does like all the stuff where, like, basically his right hand woman.
I had it in my head that they were married. There's like a little moment that made me especially think.
I think she definitely cared. Like, they definitely care for each other. But I don't think they're necessarily
Emma,
married.
The innkeeper, housekeeper, lady, little woman, is who I aspire to be when I am older. I'm obsessed with her.
Always cracks me up. She always cracks me up when she says that she's the president of the Busybody Club or something like that.
She said if it turns out that I'm wrong. Okay, so it's this part. So she overhears, she listens to everybody's phone calls. And while Bob is on the phone call with Ed, she misinterprets it as, because Ed's like, oh, I'll bring a film crew, I'll bring all these people down. And he says, no, I just want to get the word out. He said, I want to come up and I want to get the word out that anybody in the platoon, anybody from the from our group comes and who was friends with the general, comes to this thing. That's all I want. I don't want a film crew. I don't want all this stuff. Well, she only hears Ed talking about, making a big deal. We're going to get sponsors. We're going to get whatever. And she doesn't hear Bob say, no, not at all. So when Betty turns the corner, Emma's upset. And she's like, what's going on? And she's like, oh, well, I just overheard this whole scandal thing, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, well, that can't be right. You can't have heard that. If that's not true, then I'll resign as the president of Busybodies Anonymous of the, oh, crap. What did she say? The Busybody Anonymous. Busybody Anonymous. Quote. I'll resign as the president of the New England chapter of Busybodies Anonymous. Gosh. She says, oh, I'm sure you're wrong. Well, if I am, I'll resign as the president of the New England chapter of Busybodies Anonymous. I I audibly cackled out loud. I
She's
I
a great
love
character.
her. She's so funny. And like, we came up here for the snow. Where are you keeping it? Well, we take it in during the day.
Yeah.
Ma'am, she's so good. She's just this busybody old woman who is just so full of sass.
She's super
She's super
sassy. That's
sassy.
for sure.
And she was the same age as the girls in this. Yeah, she was born in
Was she? Or she's betraying somebody older,
That's what I'm
isn't she?
saying.
Yeah.
It's one of those typecasting things that I hate. There was a little bit of typecasting um among the theater at Milligan that a couple people were upset with. But anyway, I think it's just one of those typecasting things. She wasn't the most stunning looking person, so they aged her up, but she killed it. She killed it. I want to be her. I love her.
Yeah.
She made me crack up every single time she spoke. Ugh. So Betty hears this. She gets upset. This is okay, Emily. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you another question. When Nick pisses you off, inevitably, do you just expect him to know what he did? My thing is,
No.
even if you know what you did, I'm still going to tell you exactly what you did at least 4 more times before we get to an understanding. I would never in my right mind be like, you've offended me. And, you know,
Yeah.
ma'am, I'd be like, listen here, you blah, 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 blah. Like,
yeah, he keeps asking her, he's like, did you eat? Like, did you sleep well? Like, why all of a sudden do I have the cold shoulder? Because,
they had just kissed the night before. We missed that part.
well, yeah, I know, but still, he's like, why have I all of a sudden just got, like, the cold shoulder when everything was just being fine? Because there's no way he would know that
they had
she overheard
just broken the ice. Phil and Judy had gotten him in the right room at the wrong time, or the right time, and then, like, so he's on cloud 9. He's like, "What's up, girl?" And he even says, like,
yeah,
"Oh, okay. I mean, it was just a kiss. Like, sure, absolutely." Like, he's even like, "If that's what you want it to be, that's what it can be. Boo, let me know." And she's like, "No." I don't understand that part because, again, I understand that you know what you did, but I'm going to tell you again exactly what you did. Like, there's no mincing words. Maybe that's...
Yeah, she totally just shuts down and gives him the cold shoulder for no reason.
Yeah.
For a mistake, too.
Betty is cold to Bob. Bob is getting upset at Betty. And Phil and Judy are like, you know what we should do? We should get engaged.
Yeah, we should fake getting engaged.
Which I again, so when they were meddling, there was a moment where they were meddling and I was like, she's very youthful right now. And I was like, is she... That's when I was like, she's supposed to be like 16 years old, because they were together. I think they were in the window maybe while they were kissing, and they were like looking at them or whatever. And they were like... And I was like, is she 15? Like, it for some reason, for 2 seconds, I was like, wait, is she supposed to be like a 17-year-old, like, in the guardianship of her sister? Like, but apparently she's not.
No, yeah, it turns... we find out that she's like the mother hen type sister to her younger sister. And Judy tells Phil that she doesn't think that Betty's going to do anything remotely for herself, especially get in a relationship, until Judy is successfully in a relationship, because she cares too much about what is going on in Judy's life to really care about herself. So that's why they decide, we're gonna say we're engaged, so that maybe that'll just move it along.
But
and
Phil's
she would get
not keen, and that's what made me laugh. Is because they danced together and they had like a little bit of fun dancing together. Like, they ballroom danced at the beginning of the movie, but I didn't see like a pew pew,
Mm-hmm.
like a spark, like it, you know.
I definitely think that he has like a crush on her because every time like when they first met, he was like, "Oh look, boy girl, nice," and like he always sits Judy next to him and Betty next to
Yeah, but I
Bob,
thought that was
and
for
they flirt
Bob.
and
I
stuff.
always got the idea that that was
I think he also did it for
maybe.
himself because when they first see them up on stage, they're like both of them are like, "Whoa,"
Oh
hearts in
yeah,
their eyes,
look
like
at those
how
look at those
does
brown
Dog Face
eyes.
Boy
Look
have
at those blue
sisters that
eyes.
look
Look at
like
those. No,
this?
they're brown. No, they're blue.
Right.
Um, that's fair. That's valid.
Yeah. So I think they both have like little crushes on each other.
Well, she's like,
So,
we should make out just to make sure, and he's like, not unless we have to. Like, he almost seemed very anti. Like, not just whoa, but like what? Like, I'd rather die.
I think he's a. I took it as like a scared little schoolboy. Like, I don't think you really like me as much as you think you do. Like, I'm gonna mess this up
Yeah,
because I'm so
so they
dorky.
decide that they're going to stage a romance, and Betty decides, oh, cool, you have your own life now. I'm going to go to New York by myself. Whoop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She got booked to show in New York.
So the outfit that Judy wears when Bob is chewing them out is probably my favorite. It's the little white sweater with
The
I
is
think
it?
like a red
Mm-hmm.
belt and then the polka dot black or just regular black skirt. It's really cute. I That's
Yeah, I
probably
know what
like
you're
my
talking about.
favorite everyday like outfit. But the dress that Betty has on
Mm-hmm.
at the Carousel Club is my top favorite.
Is it the green
No,
one?
that's when
Is
they're
it
at the
green?
engagement. They have the green one with the little strappies across. Yeah, no, this is the black one,
Yes.
the tight black one with the silver gloves.
Oh,
Um,
okay. The one that
mhm.
she's doing her show with. Yeah, that's my favorite look too because it's like silhouetted and then
Yeah, and
like poofy down at
it's
the bottom.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my favorite dress, and it
Mhm.
zigzags like kind of on her shoulders. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
gorgeous dress.
that's my top
That's
favorite.
my top fave
So
too.
she goes to the carousel club to do her job. Phil and Judy tell Bob the truth, and then he goes after her because he saw her leaving, and he's like, hey, why are you like? I
Hmm.
didn't think we fought that bad. Like he's very confused until, yeah,
Yeah, and she's
she's like,
like,
get
"Goodbye,
out of here,
goodbye, gotta
yeah.
go, goodbye."
So he ends up showing up to her show, but of course Ed's there, and there's another miscommunication. He's like, all the sponsors, all the whatever. And she's like, you scum. But it's actually just him getting all the press and the sponsorship so that he can be shown farther, so that he can get more of the men to come
Hmm.
on Christmas.
Hmm.
Um, and Betty sees it on TV, and she immediately gets on the train to Vermont.
Yeah, she's like, "I
Mm-hmm.
have messed
So
up."
it's Christmas Eve. Yeah,
Yes,
all the
girl, you
soldiers
have.
showed up, and they all sang. That was very emotional. I was very emotioned. I was like, oh, this is so sweet. Um, I love that Emma stole all his suits so that he had to put his uniform on.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I'm not wearing my uniform. I won't, I'm not wearing,
Yeah.
no, like that's ridiculous. Which, I mean, again, he's in the army. Like that was very like chick chick on the money because Daniel was like, I hate it. No. Um, and,
You know his when you talked about your favorite like everyday kind of
mm-hmm,
dress, but not like fancy dress. His
mm-hmm.
granddaughter's little pink dress that she wears, I think is
I don't
absolutely like
understand why we
adorable.
wear what we wear now. I hate it. It makes me angry. Every time I look at their outfits, I'm like, this is stupid. I don't want jeans. I don't want sweatpants. I want beautiful, cute outfit.
I was thinking the same thing, like, why don't we wear that type of dresses anymore? Like, they're so cute. I mean, the one that she has on is
Mm-hmm.
like a party dress type thing, but it's just so cute. Like, it fits her snugly, and then all of a sudden it like poofs out, but
Yeah.
it's a tea length dress, so it
Mm-hmm.
stops at her shins. I think those are adorable.
It makes me angry. I don't know what happened, but I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. So everyone makes up behind the scenes, and they sing White Christmas, and it starts snowing. It's a Festivus miracle. Yeah.
Snowing asbestos.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you know that the snow
back
that they
in the day
use in
it was
that
all asbestos. The poppy snow was asbestos.
Oh yeah, I
like
know.
all...
That's what I was about to say. The poppies, all that snow that's laying on them is asbestos. Like, didn't know that that's cancer causing and horrible for you. Oopsie. No, but yeah, the when they do the G, I wish I were in the army. that whole like part of the show, I catch myself just going, and then they end it with White Christmas, and then I'm still going.
I love
also trying not to cry.
Christmas. The girls' Christmas dresses were really pretty too, but that black one.
Those are probably my second favorite. I like that they were the same but also different, because Judy had on like this like shawl thing over hers, and then Betty's just had like the puffy sleeves that she could like put together. Yeah, those were the Santa and Mrs. Claus outfits were really cute.
It's a really sweet movie. I mean, it's a very sweet movie. I loved it. Ruby loved it. She just kept going, are they going to sing and dance again? Are the girls going to dance? Are the girls going to sing? Are they going to sing? And I was like, yeah, baby, they're going to sing. I promise. So, it was very sweet. Yeah. I definitely think it's like a 9 out of 10 nostalgia. I'm going to give it like a 7 out of 10 on like actual songs and context. Because I love the song choreography. I laughed out loud, but I was like, what's this got to do with Christmas? What's this got to do with the army? What's this got to do with your show? Like, what's this got to do with nothing? So,
nostalgia, this is obviously pretty up there, but as a show itself, I'd say I'd give it like an 8 to an 8.5. I mean, again, like if you think about it, it doesn't really like make sense, but it's just a good movie all around.
I had a lot of fun. I was, again, floored that I hadn't seen it before. I could have swore I had. Obviously, I'd seen Sisters, and I'd seen some version of White Christmas. But I was like...
Well, and it's confusing because White Christmas was actually like an award-winning song before they even made
Judy
the movie
Garland
White
sang
Christmas. Because he sang it...
Oh, no.
Did she? She sang Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
I was like, wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. In Meet Me in St. Louis, to be exact. Love that movie, too. Anyways. Is that on our list? Because it needs to be. He sang White Christmas. It was originally written by Irving Berlin in 1940, and then Bing recorded it in 1942, which is the same year that he made the appearance in Holiday Inn. And then he also won an Oscar for it in 1943. And according to Guinness Book of World Records, Bing Crosby's version of White Christmas is the best-selling single of all times. It has estimated 50 million copies worldwide.
It has estimated worldwide. On the world records.
Worldwide.
When... Oh.
I hate you. It's really hard to say. Guinness Book of World Records.
World Records.
World Weapons. True love.
I bet my life on
Brings
it.
Us together.
I love that movie.
Today.
That I love.
Do you know how much my brother begged the person that was marrying me and Nick to do that at our...
He also had his own wedding
ceremony. I would have lost it. Well, I know, but I love Princess Bride, so it probably would have made me like laugh hysterically.
Princess
What?
Buttercup.
What?
Boo!
Buttercup.
Bow.
Too bad that's not a musical.
No. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
Don't remake it. Don't musicalify it.
No.
Don't. You hear me?
It is fine the way it is.
I'm gonna look you in the microphone. In the eyeballs.
In the microphone?
Say it to the microphone. I'm so tired. I am so ready for Christmas to be done. Anyway.
Oh,
so, what are we gonna watch next time?
Well, you know, I have the movie generator now. So, do you want to drum roll? A movie I've never seen. It is Ma'am.
What?
Is that what it is? M-A-M-E?
Mammy? Mommy?
Mommy?
Mommy? Mommy? I've never seen this either. Starring Lucille Ball.
Is that the 1974 version? Because that's what it says.
Mommy.
Uh-huh. And where do we watch
or
this?
YouTube for free. So.
1974. I don't even know
Mommy,
how to
Mammy?
say it.
Mommy? B. Arthur? B. Arthur? Ah! Oh my gosh!
I'm literally trying to figure out how to say this.
What does it say? No! What? I can't hear anything.
It's Mame, but I need to send you this link so you can post it because what the actual heck did I just
God,
listen
okay. Yay.
Okay. All right. Please go listen to this while we're still recording. I beg you. Oh, God.
What are you sending it on? Okay, I got it.
Facebook Messenger.
Oh, that's the TikTok.
You're looking at how to pronounce these words as well as to say more vocabulary names than many mispronounce in English. So make sure to stay tuned to the channel.
Put it up to the mic.
You know not mommy or mommy, but Mame. Now you know.
Ooh, it is not Mame. It is Mame.
Right. It is time to pronounce the English words that you do not know how to understand. Mem. It is not Memmy.
I could not be the only one that had to listen to that.
Okay, well,
Mim? I don't even know what that's about.
Me either. But it's got B. Arthur in it and Lucille Ball, so I am ready for it.
Let's
Join
go.
us next time as we watch Mame. Mame.
Mame, not Mame.
You can email us at oneofmyfaves@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram. What?
Please follow us on Instagram because we'll post funny things from snippets from our recordings.
One of my
our favorite looks
on Instagram. You can listen to us on YouTube or Spotify. And thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next time for Mame.
Thanks.
Mame.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. We love you all. I'm so tired.